Hey guys, what's going on? Josh here from Polymathics, the YouTube channel that teaches you to become a modern day Renaissance man. And today we're going to talk about haters and why you should embrace the hate. Um, I know there's a lot of punks out there that are sipping haterade every day, trying to cut you down or whatever it is, but you should really be thankful for them because whether you know it or not, they give you perfect opportunities to grow and and be, and cultivate yourself um, and kind of sharpen your mental edge against the world, so to speak. So first, I want to talk about the different kinds of haters. Um, Actually, first I want to give a quote that has always resonated with me. It comes from the great rapper, infamous rapper, T.I. And in one of his songs, he basically says, "Pain is small thing to a giant." And that's the thing, like, even giants feel pain. But the thing is, they they feel it for a split second and they ignore it. They just walk on. It's not a big deal. And that's what haters are. They're like a little bug bite. They're like a little pinprick. You know, they're just enough to like get your attention for a second, but then you need to move on. Um, and the thing is, there's a difference between haters and constructive criticism. And you always have to be able to tell the difference. I'm going to do a whole nother video on the difference between haters and constructive criticism. But for the purposes of this video, I want to talk about the types of haters. So first you have complainers, right? People who complain about what you did or how you did it. And the thing you have to keep in mind is that with complainers, it's not just about you. A lot of times they're just permeating and permeating the energy into the world that they have inside themselves. They're really just complaining about their own lives. And a lot of times, complainers, they love to aim at big targets because it gives them something to talk about. So whenever anybody hates on you, whether they're a complainer or not, you should always take it as a compliment because just in order to be hated on means that the person like thought about you enough to like complain. So that's a good thing, right? Um, there's also the smarty pants, or AKA the sweaty nerds. And those are the people who, like, for example, with comic books and this recent flood of comic book movies from Marvel and DC, what we've seen is all of these sweaty nerds come out of the woodworks and say, well, it wasn't like that in the comic book, blah, blah, blah. These are movies that are making billions of dollars and bringing millions of new people to the franchise. And the fact that they took some liberties with it, with, you know, whatever movie or character that may be in question at the time, those are small things when you look at the big picture. And just the fact that, you know, people can see their favorite characters from childhood on the big screen in these amazing, you know, stories, they should be thankful. But nevertheless, you're always going to have those haters who think they know better. And a lot of times too, the sweaty nerds in particular, which I'm guilty of being one from time to time, sometimes it's just they want to show their loyalty or their knowledge of the topic, and so they want to tell you why it's wrong, not because they really think it's wrong, but just because it makes them look smart. So keep that in mind. Then you have the stoppers. Those are the people who are trying to stop you because they don't want you to succeed, because if you succeed, they have to look at their own lives and ask themselves why they're not succeeding. So whenever you have a stopper, someone who's like trying to tell you, oh, well, you can't do that because, you know, you have to have a degree, or, you know, only people with this certification do that, or only people with 20 years of experience can do that. Those are stoppers. And those are kind of dangerous people because a lot of times those are people who are our friends or who are our family. And sometimes they just want to stop you because it's not even because they're jealous of the fact that you're succeeding and they're not. Sometimes it's because they're afraid of how their life is going to change when you mold and shape, or when you grow into this new thing that you're becoming, right? Will you still want to be with them? Will you still want to hang out with them? Will you still want to go drinking with them all the time if you're being like super responsible now and you have a career or some sort of dream that you're going after? You know, a lot of times stoppers, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to stop you so that you can stay with them instead of move forward. And then you have flamers, and I've got notes here that says fire, burned. I don't know what I was thinking at the time, but flamers, a lot of times, it has nothing to do with you or what you've done. A lot of times a flamer, they flame, they troll on the internet, and they find people to flame only because it gives them excitement, and the better burn that they can give to someone, like, it makes them feel like that's their sense of accomplishment. Like, the better burn that they can give someone, that's how they feel like they've done something cool, because they've put someone down who was up high. And so that's a flamer. And then there are the gems. And the gems are the ones that I really love. And they're not always out there, but when you find them, they're great. These are the ones who kind of alley-oop you. And what I mean is they'll say something that's completely wrong or completely ignorant, completely contradictory. And what it does is it allows you to present your argument in such a way that makes your argument even stronger than it was before. So again, the thing about haters that are really great is like they allow you to kind of sharpen your sword against the world. But the thing is, you have to remember. Oh, so what was I gonna? There was something else about the gems. They alley-oop you. If I remember, I'll come back to it. But so the thing with all the haters is that you have to have thick skin. You have to remember these are people that you know, and if they are people that you know, you have to really wonder if they're not providing constructive criticism, and they're gonna hate on you like that, then maybe you should eliminate them from your life. You should. But the other thing to think about with haters, and if Grant Cardone is one of the people that I follow here on YouTube, and he's got some really great books, but he says one of the things that you got to do is get people's attention. And the first people that you get attention from is haters. But that's a good thing, because they cultivate more attention. And you know how before I was talking about the flamers and the burning? Well, sometimes they'll start a fire, and that's a good thing, because those fires can really kind of do the opposite effect of what the hater had intended, which is kind of like I said before with the gems. Like, if they hate on you so much, all they're doing is giving you free publicity, right? And they're extolling all of this energy, hating on you, while you just continue to grow and grow from their hate, right? Because the more they talk about you, the more the word is spread that you're out there, right? And then it's incumbent upon the other people who hear all this hoopla to decide what they think. And what we see time and time again with all kinds of different people is that once the general masses start to see people who are rational beings, not trolls on the internet, what we see is that the general masses accept them because they are spreading like a good message. Okay. The other thing is, the great thing about haters is that they make you look strong. Okay? If you have no opposition, if you have no enemies, then you're fighting against no one. So when you get haters, it's a time where you can really show your character and show what you're made of. And don't misunderstand what I'm saying. I'm not saying like you go and talk shit to them. I'm actually saying the opposite. Like, the more you can maintain composure and present a valid argument, a compelling argument, then it's going to be incumbent upon, you know, the viewership or whoever, right, your readers, whatever it might be, to decide how that affects them and what they think. And a lot of times too, like, people see haters and they can identify them right away. They can see, you know, what that person's intentions were. What they don't know is what's yours and how do you react under pressure. And so when these things come up, every time you get a hater, every time you get something that's like negative, you should thank them so much, because it gives you an opportunity to show your gumption, to show your chops, to show your grit. And so the final thing I'm going to kind of touch on with this is one of my favorite authors, Robert Greene. He wrote several books that I've read, you know, The 48 Laws of Power, his book on seduction, I don't remember the exact name of it. He wrote The 50th Law with 50 Cent, and he wrote a book called Mastery. They're all great books. I think they're all New York Times bestsellers. But the one that sticks out in my mind, well, in The 48 Laws of Power, he basically says, like, you know, you should always have some sort of opposition. And he gives an example of, like, this guy who kind of went against the Pope. But the point is, having opposition is good, because then it like gives people a common enemy that you can go against. And the more, you know, composed you are when you go into battle, the more people will want to follow you, because that's a characteristic of a true leader. The second thing is the book, The 50th Law, which is basically fearlessness. He wrote with 50 Cent. And one of the chapters is called Turning Shit into Sugar. And haters are the prime example of how that lesson can be applied. Every time you run into someone who's talking smack about you, who's downing on you, it always gives you an opportunity to show the world your character. Think about it. When you read a book, when you see a good story, the people who we root for are the ones who the world is against them. All the things are stacked against them, and despite all the odds, despite all the obstacles, despite the difficult situations, they maintain composure and they press on towards their goal. So, hopefully this has given you some insight into haters and how to deal with them. If you liked it, please give me a like. And if you'd like to hear more videos like this, then please hit the subscribe button below and subscribe to my channel, where you will get more videos like this with really cool information and this charming guy right here. But until next time, take it easy.